This
Alright, we are now streaming on a new.
What do you call that music?
stream.
It's
We did
It's corrido, there you go.
a connection failure.
To get this with some botas, bro. How with the
Oh, this is my boy saying,
yeah, Sardar. Sardar.
They're gonna be like, ¿sabes cómo bailar? I'm like, hey, you find out by yourself.
I mean, like, they don't call him the Walrus King for nothing.
No, they do not.
Yeah, is that shit embroidered on the jacket?
Yeah. I would just have to hop around. It's not that hard.
Yeah. You got yourself.
It'd be getting intimate right there, though. Like, with those dances, it's crazy.
They do be doing that shit.
And it's still too,
I seen them, bro.
it's a little too close than I'd like.
I'm
And then they're like bullfighting at the same time. It's like, what's going on
When they
here?
do those events, they do an event still on the same grounds. Like they split it in half. It's just called Avenue 26. It's just food and like vendors and like stuff for little kids. And then you can see who's on the other side of it. Cover your eyes, bro.
Yeah,
What's going on?
they be digging for gold, bro. Tommy's trying to pull up or what?
I used to go before there was like anything else. Just that one process. And then I got big on TikTok, and then that's when it all
I went when it blew up.
yeah.
I went when it got
I
good.
know what you're talking about. Because my girlfriend's dad was like, oh yeah, like they used to eat this stuff. Then they had a bunch of shit. And like fast forward to now, I think like some people stop doing. It's like like that shit's sick. I just like I was like, I want to go no more. Like, so we had pretty right there. I just see.
So we're back and better than ever before. If you're just joining this
Can you
live
swap
stream,
it, Sardar, the link on the site?
then welcome.
I wonder if we're talking about the same one. Like they would like, when they put salsa, like they slathered that shit on. Yeah.
They had it like, you get the tacos, and then they do like a little potato bowl, and then there was another stand with all the sauces and the bowl.
So we had some good questions coming in before our stream crashed. I hope that you guys rejoin so we can answer those questions.
I'll post on our Instagram. Maybe we'll get one person out of it.
Why do we try TikTok? TikTok is a lot.
The TikTok live?
Not a bad idea.
We could try. I just feel like it's like nonsense.
They don't usually go by anything.
And I have to do like random stuff to like get them to stay, and I don't like it. Like the only time I was able to get someone engaged was when I threw the was when I was throwing the straw at the screen.
Welcome if you're just joining us. This is a BatteryEVO live stream. We're the Battery Boys, and we're here to answer your questions. So let us know if you're trying to go off the grid, if you want to upgrade your golf cart from lead acid to lithium, or anything else like that. We'll walk you through it, we'll help you get started so you can make the most informed decision. And while we're live, and only while we're live, we offer exclusive live discounts. So the way you can take advantage of that is call in the number at the top of the screen, 213-577-1025. Tell them you're watching the live stream. Tell them the Battery Boys sent you, and you will get that discount. Better than any of our other pricing online.
So if we're just joining one more time. There's probably people on the other live right now.
Probably people clicking to a dead link at the moment. But, you know, life is crazy like that. Sometimes you set up a live stream link and the live stream crashes and you gotta set up a new live stream link.
It's part of life,
You
you
know?
know?
Our ancestors had to deal with that. Now
Our
we have to deal
founding
with
fathers knew this is exactly why they made the Constitution.
it. That's why they made the Constitution for days like this.
For days like this, you know, just remember. You have your Bill of Rights for a reason.
Man, we had such a good live stream going though. We got the room bantering about Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
vacations. We kicked it off with a "I'd rather be glazy than lazy" one-liners. We got to get that back up. Rooster Bear made it over to the right stream.
Rooster Bear made it
We
back.
had a crash on the other stream.
Rooster
so I'm
Bear,
glad you
find
found
the
us.
others and bring them here.
Yeah, Rooster Bear, can you go knock on some doors and tell everybody we're streaming? Because we crashed our stream that had traffic.
So first stream crashed. This is the second stream for the day. It's probably gonna flop now, but it's okay. Never lose hope. Right, Tommy?
That just means we have to extra on someone.
That just means that somebody needs to get a double YouTube live deal.
I think we got to give out a
No, you
quadruple
like it.
discount today.
That's like a double chocolate.
Chris said his favorite beverage was chocomil. Dude, that was crazy,
I
Chris.
wish I had one right now. You know that one day we got over, remember Navy, you got us like over? I got the chocolate pretty much.
I got in trouble that day because I made a face.
I would have done the same thing now. What was that? Coco Hot Choco Loco or something like that.
Yeah, I made a face and I got in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what is that? And then she was just like, damn. I
I
was like-
didn't look like you don't like it.
And it was gas too, which then I regretted making a face. I'm sorry. Sorry for all that I am.
Rooster Bear, we appreciate that you're on this stream with us right now, though.
Rooster Bear, find the others. Bring them here. Let's give them a deal.
Busy talking.
No, he was talking to you.
Who's talking to Matthew?
No, you too. Matthew was on the computer. Oh, yes.
I was asking you to do it now.
If you are just joining this live stream, ask us anything about BatteryEVO. I'm Nick, this is Brian. We're here streaming live from the BatteryEVO HQ in Los Angeles. We're in the marketing room, and right downstairs below us in the manufacturing warehouse, they're building your batteries. And we want to tell you about it. So ask us about our batteries, ask us about what we do here at BatteryEVO. We'll help you get started. If you're looking to go on that off-grid journey, we'll help you make the most informed decision. Just let us know what you're trying to do. Tell us a little bit about the size of your home, your state, things like that. And we will help you make the best decision possible. BatteryEVO offers the lowest price per kilowatt hour on the market when it comes to off-grid batteries. And if you call in using the number on the top of the screen, 213-577-1025, and mention the live stream, that price per kilowatt hour will go even lower because they'll hook you up. All you got to do is call in and mention the live stream. That's only for viewers. So if you're hearing me, you're a viewer. Duke says, "Hi guys." Hey Duke, how's your Wednesday treating you?
You found the second stream. Good job. You're now qualified to get double YouTube live deal. It's like a maze. Like what?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this to people? I was at a pumpkin patch this weekend and they had a maze.
Nice.
But did I go through it? No. No way.
You're above that?
You're not gonna catch me in a maze. You know?
My ancestors didn't fight to survive and carry on their name just for me to get lost in a maze.
In a pumpkin patch maze, they made it. They used pallets. They stood up the pallets and then made the maze. And I was like, nah, because if I go the wrong way, I'm gonna feel silly. You know?
See it, yeah.
Like imagine you go the wrong way and now you're staring at a pallet and you're like, dang.
And then you just watch like a kid get there first.
Are you talking technical questions about specific products? If you have a question, Duke, yes, we can.
Yep.
If
this
it
is
gets
what we
too
do.
technical,
So the way
call
these
the number.
streams work is every time we do it, we're here to take your questions. So any product on the BatteryEVO lineup will help you get better information about it. If you're curious about using a thing like a BatteryEVO Walrus, for example, in your home, will help you kind of understand the way that it would best work in your specific home to help you get started. So ask away, we can get into the specific details here. And while we're live streaming, we offer exclusive discounts. So if you're a viewer of this stream, all you gotta do is call in 213-577-1025. It's the number at the top of the screen. Mention that you're watching the live stream and they will hook you up with an extra discount lower than any of our other pricing online. That's for any viewer of the stream. Even if we don't interact with you in the chat, you can still take advantage of that.
You can take advantage of it. You don't have to chat in the chat. The chat's just for
you
chatting.
should ask your question if you got it.
You don't have to chat in the chat if you don't want to chat.
That's
you know?
true. Rooster Bear says, "Hi Duke, we got a conversation starting. We got some future friends maybe in the chat, Rooster Bear and Duke."
Rooster Bear and Duke will be the Puerto Rico lineup.
Oh, now we're talking. Rooster Bear and Duke going on a vacay to Puerto Rico. Neither of them probably have any idea why we're talking about that. It's become an obscure inside joke at this point.
Yeah, no one knows because it's not part of that other stream.
Yeah, that was part of the last stream that died.
All right, so if anybody has a question, drop it in the chat. Is it possible to hardware or hardwire the Walrus G series? It is possible to hardware the Walrus G series. Are you trying to say hardwire the Walrus?
I'm not sure what.
It's possible to hardware the Walrus G series. So the Walrus has a couple ways you can plug it in. You could do a grid-tied install using the AC cables to plug into, and you could use that AC cable to wire it from your main electrical panel to the Walrus, or from a generator to the Walrus, and then you could use the AC output to wire it from the Walrus to a sub panel to power up your home. You can also use PV input to get direct current from solar panels. So if you wanted to do like an off-grid setup and avoid the grid, you could do a direct wiring from the solar panels directly to the Walrus utilizing the PV input. So those are the two ways you can wire up the Walrus to charge it. Now, to be able to get the power out of the battery pack, you do need to use the AC output, or you can use the 110 volt outlets on the front or the 220 volt 30 amp outlet on the front. So you can use it as an electric generator, but if you wire it to your home, it's a battery backup for the home. It's a power generator.
Thanks for the question, Duke. If anybody else has any questions, let us know. We are happy to help you out. Any other questions about the Walrus, let us know. We got the G3s in stock right now. They've been moving fast. Last time when we were running the G2s, we actually sold out of the G2s before everybody who wanted them could get them. So if you've been thinking about getting a G3, definitely recommend going ahead and looking into that now while we have them in stock. And if you're feeling ready, take advantage of our live stream discounts. Great day to do it. Great day to invest in yourself. Duke says, my concern is a long-running active circuit through a plug/cable into the sub-panel rather than a metal conduit hardwire. You got that, Brian?
I'm sorry, what? My concern is a long-running active circuit through a plug cable into a sub-panel rather than a metal conduit hardwire. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. My concern is a long-running active circuit through a plug cable into the sub-panel rather than a metal conduit hardwire. It is a long-running active circuit through a plug cable. So, I guess technically you could, but you'd have to. The Walrus already has the plugs, right? So you got the cables that come with it to plug into it. If you wanted to technically hardwire, I guess you could, but you'd have to take out the sockets and wire it up. I don't know if I would recommend doing it that way. I mean, I guess if you're savvy enough, you could pull it off. Some people, what they'll do instead of trying to run the, instead of trying to connect the generator port, what they'll do is they'll snip it, and then they'll wire up the conduit into the breakers or into the sub panel or whatever you're trying to plug it into. So that is possible. Some people in the RVs, they're doing that. So they'll take off the AC output. They'll basically pull it off, and it sounds like you're savvy enough. So on the inside, it's just the terminal points. So you could technically hardwire it. You could if you were savvy enough. It's just electricity. It's just cables and ports, right? So if you pull out the port, the conduit will be there. You could wire them together, and then you could wire it to whatever you want it to do. So that is technically possible. I'm just not. I mean, if that's what you're trying to do, I would call in a tech. I would call in and ask a tech about like how to do that. But I have heard that people that are doing that with the RV, so they don't have to install extra ports or anything like that in the RV. So they'll just wire it. Yeah, they'll just pull off the sockets, and then you could technically do it. It's one of those things. It's like a technical thing.
If you got any other questions, let us know. If you've been listening and found anything we've said helpful or interesting, be sure to drop a like on the stream. We'll be doing this for a little bit, so any questions you guys have, BatteryEVO, ask away, and do be sure to take advantage of that live stream deal. Even if you're not ready to buy today, you can still call in while we're streaming and lock in a lower price. If you're thinking about buying maybe a couple weeks out or even a month or two out, you can lock in a better price now by just calling in. Say you're watching the live stream. That's why we do it. Charles Lee. Hey Charles, glad you found us on this stream. This is the question that was asked right before our last stream froze. Charles says, hi, I have a Tesla solar panel system. It produces enough energy for my house, but all the extra energy selling 5 cents each kilowatt to Anaheim Utility Company. How can I stop sending extra energy? So Brian, Charles wants to know how they can stop giving their excess solar energy back to the grid.
I have a Tesla solar panel system. It produces enough energy for my house, but all the extra energy selling 5 cents each kilowatt to Anaheim Utility Company. How can I stop sending them extra energy? So Charles, you will need to buffer, right? So right now, the way solar works in California specifically, it is designed for you to pay for a large solar system. That's why they'll sell you on a large one. And most of the time, they'll sell you on a solar system that produces way more solar than what your house actually needs. And then they'll basically suck it all back up and then they'll charge you for it at night, or they'll charge your neighbors for it, right? Because they're using you as the power plant at this point. So if you were able to get a battery, a backup battery, like a Walrus or anything like that, you could, as the solar comes in, instead of selling it back to the grid, you would store it into a solar pack, right? So the Walrus has this functionality. All the battery packs have this functionality. You just need a way to funnel the energy from the solar into the battery pack and store it there. So as, like, let's say you're not home for the day, your solar panels are still bringing in energy. So you could be storing it into the battery pack, but then at nighttime, when there's no sun, you're basically they're charging you back the energy you collected during the day. So because of that, you are going to always be paying for energy, because you come home at night and then you start using your appliances. So yeah, a battery pack is going to be able to store the energy for you. Now, if you have rebates as you're making solar, you'll still get rebates back because you're still using the solar to power up your battery packs. But then at nighttime, you don't got to use the grid energy. You can use the battery's energy. And then during power outages, as you probably have experienced, the grid-tied solar panels don't work during a power outage. And then that's for Charles too. If our system's completely grid-tied, no, they're not. So depending on how you choose to wire these up, you can do off-grid setups, Charles. Where do you live? Oh, JS is asking Charles. That's what he's asking. So JS is asking Charles, is your system completely grid-tied? I would assume it is if he's using the Tesla solar panels. I don't think that those can go off, because I think they do those with AC coupling.
Yeah,
so I think they have to be
if you just
grid-tied.
have your solar panels and just right into your home like that, if you don't have a separate battery and inverter that you're using to take control of how that solar energy is used, then yeah, I would think it's just grid tied most likely. That's definitely one of the main benefits of getting a solar battery like the Walrus. Walrus is extra special because it's got that all-in-one inverter built in. We got the Walrus G3 as our current model of the Walrus. It's brand new, actually debuted this month. If you'd like any info about that Walrus G3, let us know. We can get into it. And if anybody out there has any other questions or is thinking about getting something, be sure to take advantage of that live stream pricing. All you got to do is call in the number on the screen and mention that you're a viewer of the live stream. They'll hook you up with an extra good price. It'll be lower than any of our seasonal sales that we may be running at this time. Charles says, yes, it's grid tied.
Yes, grid tied. Yeah, so because you're grid tied, Charles, you're well, yeah, it's got to be grid tied because you're giving the company, the utility company back the power.
Anaheim. I think he's in Anaheim.
Yeah, he's in Anaheim. So Charles, are you looking to get a battery pack so that you could store the extra solar? The G3s right now are on sale, but YouTube live pricing, we could hook you up. You could, the Tesla panels are probably wired up to your grid now, to your main electrical panel. You can install a NEMA port, and then with that NEMA port, you could pull the solar that's coming out and put it into the battery pack, and then you could charge for a couple hours out of the day, and then just not even really utilize the grid anymore for the rest of the day. Charles, how large is your home, and how much power are you currently using every month? We could calculate what's your daily consumption, and then we could figure out how much battery backup you need. And if you think that that's something you could benefit from, Nick is more than happy to get in trouble giving you the best deal possible.
Yeah. If anybody is listening who has been on previous streams, you may have seen me get yelled at on camera before for giving too low of a discount price. It's happened more than once. Brian's done it too, but I think I've done it a few more times. At least the getting yelled at on camera part, because I like giving batteries away for cheap. What can I say? It's what gets me out of bed every morning. So if you want that YouTube live discount, let us know. We'll get you hooked up. I don't mind getting yelled at again today. It's a step I'm willing to take to make sure you get the best battery you can. JS says Brian's idea with the NEMA is the best, as you have solar panels as your solar panels will go down too when you have a blackout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the solar, so JS is right. So the solar will be collected into the battery pack. When the power cuts out, the grid's not going to work, but you'll utilize a sub panel to reroute the energy away from the grid and back into your home. If you could put up that picture, the one that I was sending you earlier, Nick, the one that you did, that one's really good.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's actually what I'm working on right now, is the horizontal
Yeah.
version of that.
So some people, sometimes they don't want to use the sub panel, like they feel it's like a little extra to have to use this because they don't want to basically do a sub panel. But the reason for the sub panel is to route the energy away from the main electrical panel. So there's some battery backups in the markets that can do what's called, I think they call it AC coupling, and even if the grid is out, it kind of still works. But it's just like you're gonna have to get a much more expensive install because you're playing with the grid with the main electrical panel there. So because of that, your installation is going to be higher. The battery pack itself is probably going to be more expensive. The inverter system will probably be more expensive, and you're going to have to tie it back to the grid. So although you probably will save some money, it's still tied to the main electrical panel. So the meter is running back and forth either way. So you're going to be back in the same type of situation. Now I know some of those battery packs are popular in certain areas and stuff like that, but by utilizing the sub panel, you're rerouting the energy away from the main electrical panel. The main electrical panel has the meter. The meter is what's running both forward and backwards. So that's how they know how much energy you're using and how much you're backfeeding, so that they know how much to give you on your rebates. So if you're storing it into a battery pack, when you want to use it for your home, reroute it away from the meter and back into your home. And then Charles says his daily is 27 kilowatt hour, produce using only 20 kilowatt.
So that's 7 kilowatt hours.
Oh, no,
a
no.
day.
Okay, so he produces 27, but he only uses 20.
That's seven a day, just going right back to the
So
utility
7's
company.
technically going back.
They're probably selling it to his next door neighbor.
Yeah. So technically, Charles, you could create a buffer. You could create a really good buffer with the Walrus G3, right? Because the G3 has 22 kilowatt hour. You're only using 20 kilowatt hours a day. So you could technically use an entire G3 for an entire day, and then the next morning recharge it back up with that 27 kilowatt that you're producing. So you could fully recharge and deplete daily, which you probably wouldn't, because you would use the buffer. So during the day when the solar's running, the solar will run your home. You'll collect the excess solar. Then at nighttime, you'll use the battery pack's power. You're probably also using most of that power at nighttime, because that's probably when you're turning on your heaters, your ACs, your TVs, you're charging your phones, all that stuff. So most of that power production that you're using is probably in the evening and nighttime, or at least the evening time versus the morning time. So what some people do is that they'll just basically top off. So whatever they used up at night, when the sun comes back out, they'll recharge whatever was depleted, and then they'll just buffer again. And then Jay is basically doing most of the heavy lifting for us.
Thanks for coming on and helping out on this stream, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay seems to really know their stuff.
Yeah, Jay, where are you messaging in from? And then Charles, so the G3 would be the kind of battery pack that you would want to use to be able to create this buffer, right? So you currently have, so you currently have your solar panels on your roof. I'm getting better at drawing every day, dude. Right? And then it goes in to your main electrical panel, the one with the meter. So this is how your meter's going forward and backward right now.
Get you bigger on the
You
screen,
could install your NEMA port, right? And then you'll get the G3. NEMA port it to the G3, and now your grid-tied solar is going to go into the battery pack, and you're going to charge up the battery pack. Then you'll use a sub-panel to reroute the energy away from the grid. You want to reroute it away from here. You don't want to backfeed. If the power cuts out, you do not want to backfeed into the thing. This is not safe, right? So then you'll use the energy that you stored that came from your solar back through the sub-panel, which a sub-panel is just, if anybody doesn't know, just imagine your electrical panel at home, but without that meter. This meter is what the utility company uses to find out how much consumption you're using. A sub panel is the same system. It's got breakers, right? So most people have seen what a
You see
panel is like.
Charles' question, what kind of battery cell and who manufactures the cell?
I guess it depends because we get the cells from different suppliers.
Yeah, so we get our cells from different suppliers. The G3 is NMC, correct?
Yeah. So that so
Okay.
the G3s would be the NMC chemistry. They are lithium cells. Manufacture the battery. It's the vendor. We have vendors that get us the.
Yeah, I mean it depends.
We manufacture the whole system. The battery cells themselves, I don't really know. It's
Yeah, the battery cells are processed and manufactured here, and they are acquired from varying companies. So we actually work with a lot of electric vehicle companies, such as Hyundai, for example, companies like that, where we will acquire our battery cells from them and use them in these products.
So that's basically the way that you'll be able to use a grid-tied system to create that buffer that you're looking for. Thanks. What kind of battery cell and who manufactures battery cell in G3? I think they do. We'll manufacture the whole system, right? So the whole Walrus system is manufactured by BatteryEVO. The cells could be various vendors where we get the cells from, and then we're able to put them together, create the system required to be able to work for your home, right? So batteries are batteries. A lot of the batteries usually come from the same places, the same stuff that they use in the Tesla cars, the Hyundai cars. They all kind of come from the same type of people, anyways. Yeah. Sometimes we do. Right now, I don't think we have any. It's the step down, right? Go to accessories. If you go to the accessories page, you'll see the step down.
All right, I'm going to start a render on a video. There's a chance it'll slow down the computer again. Just a warning. Charles says, "Is this cell safe from the fire?" Yes.
Yeah.
It is. These are safe cells, and also every BatteryEVO Walrus has a built-in BMS system. That's a battery management system that controls and monitors your battery's usage. Heat is a factor in that, and as well as that, each battery pack has a built-in fire extinguisher in it. So this is a very rare scenario. In fact, I can't even think of any cases where they've had to be used other than our internal tests here. But the way those extinguisher packs work is that if they detect a high enough temperature, it'll go off, putting out everything in and around the battery. But again, that's a very rare scenario.
Yeah, but the BMS will most likely shut down the batteries before, the BMS is actually the biggest safety key and the safety fuse. The fire extinguisher is just extra precaution, just to go off in case it gets too hot. But the safety fuse and the BMS inside, if it's in case you have any over voltage or it's getting too hot or anything like that, it'll shut down the battery. So yeah, they're pretty safe.
That's true.
A lot of these products nowadays, Charles, are becoming much more safer. That's why you'll see now that EV cars are kind of ramping up all over the United States because the technology is there now. The price points are there now. Electric vehicles, I don't know if you noticed, Nick, it's not technically a new thing. Electric vehicles have been around for a while.
How long are we talking?
Like since a long time. Like I think since like the 80s.
Since before you and I were born.
Yeah, but I think that they
didn't know
couldn't get it going because, well, gas and oil were the prominent fuel systems, and so they wanted to push that.
Yeah.
But I think they've had electric cars for a long time,
Interesting.
but the technology wasn't fully there. The costs weren't fully there. So even just manufacturing it alone was too tough.
It wasn't worth it.
And then all the money was being funneled to oil and gas. So that's where they wanted the money to be.
I see.
But it's been around like, so that's why right now when a lot of people are like, oh, like EVs, like it's because it's not really new. It's just more that now it can get pushed. Do you guys recommend the G3 for EV charging? So technically, yes. Now you could technically plug in your charge gun to the Walrus, but the Walrus is not a supercharger, so it's not going to charge very quickly, right? But what you can do is if you have an EV charger at home, you could wire the EV charger to your sub panel and then have the energy be pulled from the G3. That way you can get the same charging speeds out of the home EV charger, but you get the off-grid energy out of the battery pack. So yes, short answer is yes, you can use it, but I would recommend if you wanted to get the proper type of charging, get a home charge system, but wire it up to the sub panel and then take the energy out of the battery pack. That's a much better system
For sure.
than trying, because the G3 does not have EV charging speeds that you're looking to get.
All right, I'll be right back. I got to record some voiceover for a video.
Yes, but it's the opposite direction.
Here, just tell me what's up. Here. You need that in one product unit or just like a square?
It doesn't need to be small.
What does it, you want any product dimension?
Because it's not on the camera.
On the spec sheet?
Oh yeah, actually. Yeah, it's here, yeah. It has actually.
Yeah, we answered that question. Who makes the best off-grid solar panels in your opinion? I don't know. That's a tricky one. If we're going by brand, I'm unsure because I don't know who's well branded in the market that way as an off-grid PV solar panel. A lot of the stuff gets manufactured out of the same places. I'm not even sure. It's hard to tell. I think what you're looking for is more like who's using the newest technology, and if you can get a good price on a high wattage solar panel. But in terms of best, I don't know what you mean. Like what would you consider as best, or what would you consider better? Would it be pricing? Would it be efficiency? Would it be? I think it'd be like like, can you get more wattage for a lower price, and are they using the newest tech? Like right now, the mono, I always have to forget how you say it, monocrystalline, I think is how you say it. That's like the newest tech. That's gonna be like what you want to use. If you use anything that's like was made before that, those will, like, if they crack or like if you get dust on them, they stop working too well. So I would just try to go with whatever is the newest tech, and then if you can get a good price on them. I mean, I don't really think anybody makes better solar panels than anybody else, unless you could name me some brands. I can look into it right now on my computer, and then you can let me know.
I would Chang from Alive.
Give me a deal.
Got any good live special deals?
What do they want?
Looking for a deal. Something sweet.
Hook them up. Let me know what they want, and then I'll send you a message.
Okay.
So somebody is chatting up right now with Rye. If you guys are doing that, let them know what battery pack you want, and then I'll see how much of a discount we can give you. And then T Billy, let me know what kind of branded solar panels you're looking at. I'll look them up online, and I'll figure out. I think what you're looking for is efficiency and price, right? Like if you can get a high wattage solar panel at a good price with good efficiency, I really think that's what you want. You know, as long as they're using the newest tech. Otherwise, I'm not really sure how you make a better solar panel than the next guy. You have answered my question, sir. I really appreciate it. Thanks. No worries, T Billy. If you can let me know what panels you were looking at, though, it'll help us like create a more like of a chat inside this YouTube live. I'd like to know what you were looking at. But yeah, I would just say try to get with whoever can get you the best price on some panels, and then just look up like whatever's the newest tech. I think it's like monocrystalline, I think is what they call it. Let me just make sure I'm saying that right. Oh no, monochromatic is what they call it? No. What's the word I'm looking for, Sardar? You know what I'm trying to say.
Huh? What?
The name for what the solar panels are. Mono something. Right? Oh yeah, it is monocrystalline. So monocrystalline is like the newest tech that they're using. And the difference between this versus what they used to use is that the monocrystalline allows each solar panel cell to work individually, and then they're all combined together to work together. So in the past, the old technology, let's say one of those little solar cell thingies were to crack or some dust got on it and solar wasn't hitting it, the whole thing would just shut down. And so that's why back in the day, even just like a few years back, like 2 or 3 years ago, if like one of those were to crack, the whole thing doesn't work. Now the monocrystalline, every one of them works in like together. So even if one or two or three or four or five of them were to crack or not be functional, the system will still work. It'll just drop its efficiency a little bit, but the whole thing will still work. So as long as they're new, they're using monocrystalline, you can create a high wattage system so you don't have to get so many panels, and then you can get a good price on them. I think that that's what you're looking for in terms of solar panels.
Thanks for the questions we've been getting so far. If anybody's just joining us, please feel free to keep asking. We are going to be streaming for a little bit longer, and if you're just joining us, welcome. It's BatteryEVO live stream. We are offering exclusive live discounts while we're streaming, so all you have to do is be a viewer of this stream, call in, mention that you are a viewer, and you will get that discount.
I've heard the 40-volt system that you all offer is a better system to be on versus the others. Can you speak on why in theory? In terms of which other one? So I've heard that the 40-volt system that you all offer is better system to be on versus the others. Can you speak on why in theory? In theory, I guess it would depend on which one you mean. The only thing that I could think of is that what we offer is we're going to offer better price per kilowatt hour, right? So you can get a much bigger battery pack for a lower cost than what anybody else is selling, right? The 48-volt systems, the batteries that we sell that are 48-volt systems work with any 48-volt inverter. So maybe if you have an inverter that you're currently using that you like, it's got enough power output, but you just need more battery capacity, getting them with us is going to give you the biggest battery capacities possible. Versus what everybody else is offering. So there's a bunch of different products in the market. Everybody has their niche. Our niche is large battery capacity at a much lower price, right? So some people have very large homes and they need a lot of battery capacity. And when you buy from some of the other retailers, they get very expensive very quickly, right? So when you're trying to get over 10 kilowatt hour, it's difficult to do at a reasonable price because
It's true.
for whatever reason, the way they manufacture their products, it's just more costly.
That's true.
Right? So that's where the advantage comes. So some people, if they want a stronger inverter that we don't currently offer, I'll tell them go grab it, and then if you need over 10, 12, 15 kilowatt hour worth of battery capacity, call back in here and we will set you up with a 48 volt battery that works.
Also, our batteries are built to be expandable, which makes it easy for you to continue to increase your capacity over time if you find that that's something you want to do. And while we're talking about benefits over time, it also has a 10-year warranty, every product that you can get from BatteryEVO, so you will be set for the long haul there.
Sorry, I needed to scratch some of that box that was messaging me. What was that thing called you sent me? A while ago, it was no, that we test, because our batteries aren't UL certified. There was another form you gave me like months ago. It was testing the kind of testing we do on the batteries. Like someone was asking about the Rhinos, they purchased like 18 sets from me a week ago. And they're like, okay, they're not UL certified, what kind of testing do you do on them? Like, what would you send a client that asks that kind of question?
We have right now two kind of file. One is SDS.
All right.
Yeah, it was safety something.
That's why it's
Nick, I will. The YouTube live kind of flopped a little bit. No, we had a good chat. We had a good chat today.
Okay, no.
But we had the
We
initial
came-
YouTube live.
We came back after that crash. We did manage
We did
to
come
come
back.
back.
We did come back.
all like quality, all like
caught up on what could have
Can I
been.
get a copy of that? I've kind of.
I might wrap it up though. I do think it's kind of dwindled.
Yeah.
So let's maybe plan again. We'll be, if anybody's listening, you want your next chance for one of these live stream discounts, we'll be back at it again on Friday. Said Friday.
Brian is.
All right, folks.
He
We will
got
see
the
you next time.
Rhino tree, the 15.